All right, everybody, we're going to move on to the next and final stretch of the conference. So I am very honored to have the privilege of getting to introduce Dr. Rebecca Nugent, our department head and the person that makes literally all of this possible. And so a big round of applause for Dr. Rebecca Nugent and letting us actually do this every year. And she's going to talk about the SCORE network.
Thank you very much, Ron. And thanks again. We know this is a super long day. We do it and try to be efficient with your travel schedules, et cetera, to really pack this day. So that's, just keep eating cookies. More food's coming at 6:15. Just keep going. Before I talk about this project, I just want to reference something that Ron just said. I actually still remember where I was sitting when I sent the email to Max Horowitz, who used to be at the Hawks, and now he's in Italy, so he's done well. He's now the GM. Where is he the GM of?
I can't say the name.
Oh, I guess we're not allowed. Oh, because you can't pronounce it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. But Max Horowitz and Sam Ventura and Ron Yurko and Andrew Thomas was probably on that email too. And I sent this email saying, okay, so do we really want to do this or what? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we could really turn this into something. And I still remembered like the day where I was sitting, et cetera. And it's been so much fun to watch this develop over the last 7 years. So I'm very happy to help facilitate all of this. This is one of our big weekends of the year. Okay. We're starting to run out of steam here. All right, so the Score with Data project. I'm just going to take a few minutes before our closing keynote just to highlight a really extraordinary opportunity that's been funded by the National Science Foundation. It's an opportunity that everyone in this room can participate in, and it's called Score with Data, Sports Content for Outreach, Research, and Education. SCORE. So what we've got here is this is what the website looks like. Welcome to the SCORE Network. It is at scorenetwork.org. You'll see that we call it it's this national network. And what we're really doing here is this is a unique project that connects academia, so faculty, educators, instructors, K-12 teachers, you name it, students, with people who are working in professional sports. That could be players, that could be people in management, it could be sports analytics, executives, et cetera. Also people working in sports science and other related fields, media companies, that type of thing. And what we're doing is we're building this repository of educational materials, trying to connect statistics and data science and sports analytics. So for example, you can imagine you want to create some interest in statistics and data science in your class, get students really jazzed about working in these fields, and sometimes the best way to connect to them is through applications that they're comfortable with or things that they get excited about, with sports is a great example. So this isn't new, this idea of using sports as like a gateway into learning more about statistics and data science. What is new is that it's now existing at a national network that is working to pull together collaborators from all around the country in professional sports and academia to build a publicly accessible repository of these educational materials that have been vetted by educators, faculty, et cetera, and available to anybody and everybody. So it's a large network. We have hubs. We have 3 main hubs, although we're looking for new hubs all the time. So please, if you've got a group of you and you want to form a new hub, let me know. So the Pittsburgh, we have Carnegie, Mellon, and Pitt. In New York, we have St. Lawrence, West Point, and Yale. They're kind of up there, I guess, say hello. And Texas, we have Baylor University. We're also hoping to add, we have a couple of other universities in Texas who are probably, hopefully going to join that hub. So the collaborator network, it's not just about creating educational materials, but it's also about building kind of a support network and helping people connect for recruiting pipelines, trying to get capstone projects, trying to think about how to get real-world data from professional sports into everybody's classrooms. So this is a formalized version of this incredibly rich network that's kind of organically evolved over the last 10 to 15 years. We're trying to help other people join the network that we've been able to leverage and take advantage of and try to support and scale up to as many people as we possibly can. There's a very strong emphasis on outreach, DEI, and building pipelines, like just for most of the things that we build. We're all about trying to connect people to opportunities. opportunities. In my experience, talented is distributed far more uniformly than opportunity, and so that's something that we can all work to correct, yeah? So we have over 80 confirmed partners and collaborators right now. You can see that there are pockets around the hubs and also around some of the kind of areas where there are more universities. So some people are working on the educational side of the house. Some people are working on kind of helping us with shooting videos of, say, players introducing, why do I care about this when I'm playing lacrosse? And kind of giving motivational video and context so students are like, oh, you mean my professor doesn't just say this is important? This really famous player says it's important, because they listen to that player a lot more than they listen to us, yeah? So we're trying to build lots of fun, engaging content for the students. We have a high-level advisory board that it's across academia and industry, and anybody can use these materials, and we encourage you to join the network as well. So when you look at a module, it comes along with introductory motivation videos and content. If you're on the education side of the house, it'll come with learning objectives, data sets, lecture notes, handouts, activities, all kinds of things, slides. We put them out in multiple formats and languages. There's also versions that are interactive or no code, so if you're working with an intro audience or a younger audience, they can engage with these kinds of things without having to be proficient in programming languages yet. And you can use them in whatever format you want. You can access them through the website. You can download stuff and print it. You can do however you teach things. You're able to use these materials. They are flexible in that capacity. And we have all kinds of data. It's not just like football and basketball and all the things that sort of people think of when they initially think of sports analytics. We have League of Legends. I had no idea what nerfing and buffing was. I'll tell you that right now. And now I do, because of SCORE. And if that doesn't get you to join, then I'm not sure what will. But we work with the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee. We work with all kinds of sports. You'd be amazed. It's really pretty remarkable how much data is being collected these days. So when you look at these modules, you'll see things like videos from professional triathletes and from baseball players, or from people like, for example, Sam Ventura, who you met earlier, talking about how they use this kind of information at the Buffalo Sabres. So you'll see, again, non-educators talking about how important it is to learn about data science and sports analytics. So in these modules, formats vary slightly, but the overall information is very similar. Again, you get problem statements. This is how you can interact with it on the web, but you also can download all of these things. All right, so that's using this stuff. If you would like to develop a module, and you're like, Rebecca, why would I do this extra work to develop these modules? Well, and so I'm speaking mostly to the faculty in the room now. We are taking advantage of the SCORE network to really promote and support the idea of reviewing and vetting and citing pedagogical materials. So for those of us who are very focused on the education side of the house, it's very common to get a lot of credit for the research articles that you're putting out into journals, but all the work that you do for the classroom is kind of sits on your laptop, right? Or it's part of some kind of package you put together, but it's hard to share that, right? So this large educator network is going to support and help you build and disseminate the work that you do and give you credit for it. So you might just have a really cool project that you use in your class that you want to share with people all over the country so that they're also using your cool idea. That's fantastic. We're also going to give you credit for all of that, and as well as all of the analytics, how many times it's been downloaded, what the access is like, how people are engaging with it, et cetera. So we're really trying to actually build a vetted educational module repository that supports the entire community. So you could have just an idea. You can engage with the network to just say, I just have an idea. I just want to build something about League of Legends. And then we'll match you with a coach, and it'll help you work through building the module. You also can just submit a module that you've built, an idea, your maybe a cool project from your classes. And then there's like a kind of a review process that mimics the kind of review process that you would do with a journal. However, this is not like a journal where it takes 9 years to come back. So I would call this like a really friendly review process where the goal is to get as much of this material up online as possible. So the review process is about getting it into the best shape it can be in, not so much about trying to reject things. We also have this great sports data repository. So it's not just a list of sports data sets that go with these modules, but it's tagged with searchable information about different topics that you can teach with it, level, different sort of ideas that you might have for working with the data. Some of these data sets go with modules and others are just kind of available. So you could actually, we just keep adding to this all the time. This is just a snapshot. It could be different now, but we add to that all the time as well. So it's not just putting up modules, we add to the data set repo as well. And you can just contribute to that. You can just submit files with minimal documentation, and that's all set up to go. So feel free to contribute to the sports data repository as well. So just want to introduce it. It is a 4-year project funded by NSF, but the goal is that we are creating something that's permanent, sustainable, will last forever, and eventually take over the world. So if you would like to join, and why wouldn't you want to take over the world, please feel free to go to that website, click around. It's in the first year right now, so the materials are just going to grow. The data sets are just going to grow. The network is just going to grow. We're doing lots of workshops at different places, different conferences, different sports analytics places. You're going to see people like, so if you're in school, can you just guys raise your hand so they just see you? So if you see people like, this is you too, Ron. There's 80-ish people involved right now, but so you'll see us doing presentations and workshops and things. So do please feel free to join. And yeah, and I will stop there and see if anybody has any quick questions, maybe like one or two, maybe a comment or an idea, or League of Legends, a comment about League of Legends.
Any questions? Feel free to raise your hand.
It sounds like I'm like making fun of League of Legends, and I am not. I am making fun of me. Okay, just to be clear. I did not know anything about it. Yeah. It's remarkable. All right, so you guys make sure that you check out the website, shoot us a note, and thank you again for coming to the conference. We look forward to our last closing keynote here, and then we have awards, and then we have the party. Yeah? All right, thank you so much.
All right, we are going to move on to the final talk. You have been here all day. You all deserve an applause for maintaining composure in the capacity constraints that we have.